This is going to be a busy day. And, oh boy, this is going to be a busy day. Today we are going to be talking most specifically about the 2021 NASCAR Cup Series schedule, which is officially revealed, barring last minute changes that they make, but most of the big decisions are made. So, just going to kind of go down through the list real quickly, and then I'll get more in detail about some of the big winners and big losers, and some of the things I'm either excited about or disappointed about. So, let's start off. The Clash on the road course, we've known that for a while. Daytona 500 on Valentine's Day, we've known about that for a while. I'll be able to watch that because I've got nothing better to do on Valentine's Day. Homestead Miami, right after that, we kind of heard about that rumor about last week. I was too busy to end up making a video about it, but we heard about that. So that will be the second points-paying race of the season. Then we go west with the Auto Club Speedway, the 2-mile variant for potentially the final time. Then we got Las Vegas and Phoenix rounding out our usual West Coast swing. No new races there, really. Then we go to Atlanta. So kind of around, I would say it's old traditional date, back before it got the second race of the season. And kind of also around where it would have been this year, roughly. So I like seeing that they're going to at least attempt this March date again. And then we've got then we got the Bristol Dirt Race. As I said, I'll get back to that one. Martinsville, they have a Saturday night race, so they've got the night race in April. Then you've got Richmond on a Sunday afternoon, Talladega, kind of Kansas, kind of the same stuff we've seen. Then Darlington, they're keeping a May date on Mother's Day, which, again, I'll probably get back to that one. Dover, that's their one and only date on the schedule. Circuit of the Americas in May. Then we've got the Charlotte 600 on Memorial Day weekend, June 30th. Then we've got Sonoma, first race in June. Then the All-Star race actually in June for Texas. So that'll be interesting to see. The All-Star race kind of get moved after the Coke 04, or the Coke 600, and without having a direct follow-up race to it. I actually think that might improve it a bit. Then we got the Nashville Superspeedway race. Pocono, they're getting another attempt at their doubleheader fan-wise. I'm going to try and go to it, if possible. Then they've got Road America on July 4th. Then the second Atlanta date in the middle of July during the day. I'll get back to that as well. Then we've got New Hampshire. Again, I'm going to try and go to that one on their traditional weekend. Then we got Watkins Glen, Indianapolis. Actually, we have a week off there. Okay. I'm assuming that break there would be for the Olympics. Then we got the Indianapolis race on the road course. No more oval, unfortunately, there. Then we got Michigan in August, the Daytona Coke 0400 on the big oval. Then we got Darlington's traditional date of Labor Day weekend, Richmond, Bristol. Essentially, the playoffs actually are identical to how they are this year, except for I think Kansas and Texas might have swapped spots, but they're both in the round of 8, so yeah. But let's get into talking about this, because I just went through a lot of changes, and there's a few notable ones. First off, where's Chicago? Where's Kentucky? Well, I've seen a lot of people already mention it on in other YouTube videos. Both those tracks are sadly gone from the NASCAR schedule, and barring either of them being on the schedule next year, I really don't see a path in which either of those tracks really survive. I think, especially with the redevelopment project that's kind of been worked on since earlier this year around the Chicagoland area, I honestly do not see that track surviving without either an IndyCar date, which they aren't getting this year, a NASCAR date, which they didn't get this year during 2020, and they aren't getting during 2021, or something else major happening. Like, if they could get promised a 2022 date, which is what I'd love to see, and I'll kind of mention this as well when we get to talking about the road course, but I'd like to see a shifting schedule every year, like make deals with some tracks that, okay, one track will get it this year, one track will get it next year, because I really feel like this schedule, while it's nice and diverse, I feel like no might be a little too heavy on some things and should maybe back down on others. In particular, the intermediates and mile and a halves. The big thing, the fact that Kentucky's going away at the expense of getting a second Darlington or a second Atlanta race. I mean, especially considering Atlanta's gonna need a repave at some point relatively soon, and is gonna end up probably ending up just like Texas, where the race is so boring, everybody's cheering for it to get taken down. I sincerely hope that they figure out a way to pave that thing without ruining it. I've kind of suggested it before, but maybe make it a concrete mile and a half. Nashville Superspeedway, glad to see that coming, and that's taking the spot of one of Dover's races because the same ownership owns those two tracks. So, but yeah, let's talk about the Bristol Dirt Race because very mixed feelings on this one. I feel like there's way more area, way more dirt tracks around that would love to get some support. Like maybe, I mean, let's just look at Eldora. If you can build a little extra grandstand seating there, you could do it. And to be honest, in the middle of the pandemic, maybe you could get away with only with pleasing the governors or politically by saying, okay, we'll only have the 30,000 seats that are there be filled. Because, I mean, that's all that we've really seen for crowd sizes at, like, Bristol earlier this year. So, possibly we could see that happening as well. But, yeah, or build up some grandstand seating there. But trying to build up existing dirt tracks rather than potentially risking one of your best short tracks, being the Bristol Motor Speedway, just to add another dirt race. I mean, I was down there in for the 2018 Bristol night race, and there's a pretty good dirt track down there called 411 Speedway. I'm sure the guys that live down in that area know the track. But, I mean, build up some seating around there if you need it to be in Tennessee. I mean, that's about, what, a 2-hour drive from Bristol? I mean, there's plenty of dirt tracks down there in that part of the country that would love the extra support if NASCAR wanted to come in and help build seating to try and make a race happen. Because I feel like this is just forcing a dirt race where it really isn't needed. I'd say the Cup Series could survive without a dirt race for the next 3 years while NASCAR tries to build up a dirt racing venue. Maybe build up Eldora slowly by introducing Xfinity and building up the truck race. Maybe even bring ARCA there. But yeah, so that's really the only other big change. Darlington, I'm fine with them having 2 races. A little weird to be racing on Mother's Day afternoon, but I'm not too upset about that. I mean, I'll probably find time to watch it. I might not be as engaged as I otherwise would be because Mother's Day is pretty important. But the fact that we were losing 2 very good tracks to this, or at least 2 very good area-wise tracks to kind of condense the area that that NASCAR reaches. I mean, because you move you're adding Road America to this schedule, but that's several hours north of that intended area. You're gonna miss a lot of the Midwest, I guess, other than Kansas, which I believe still has 2 dates on the schedule. So that is like the only real bright spot for the Midwest NASCAR fans, which I'm sure there's plenty of. I'm sure we'll have plenty of them commenting on this video, hopefully. Circuit of the Americas getting a date. I'm fine to see that instead of Texas, because I feel like dropping tracks down to 1 date, like Texas dropping to 1 date, maybe even drop Kansas to 1 date instead of completely canning Chicago. I would have been fine with that. I feel like also with maybe the Atlanta races, put one of them on a night, make one of them a night race. But from the looks of it, looks like they're both Sunday afternoon races. Other than that, you've got Road America on July 4th weekend, so kind of moving around with the July 4th race again. I'd be kind of interested to see this one. A lot of this, I think I really am going to need to be sold on it, because really a lot of this, while it's very diverse and it's making a lot of changes, And in particular, I'm going to talk about this. I think we've got a total of, let me see, we got the Daytona Road Course, we've got Circuit of the Americas, Sonoma, um, Road America, Watkins Glen, Indianapolis. Yeah, so we got 6 road courses on this schedule. Actually, make that 7 with the Charlotte Roval. So maybe make it so that there's 3 to 4 road courses every year and just kind of swap them in and out, depending, like make it a rotating schedule. So every even number year, for example, or every odd number year, so like 2021, you'd see Daytona Oval, or the Daytona Road Course, the Indy Road Course, and the Sonoma Raceway, and then Watkins Glen. And then on the even number years, you would have, say, the Charlotte Roval, the Road America, Circuit of the Americas, and maybe you keep Watkins Glen on there occasionally, but just kind of keep it rotating. Because I feel like having 6 is going to be a little overwhelming, at least at times, especially if they leave the stage cautions in there. But that's kind of been a thing with road course racing since the stages were added, is that it really kind of ruins the strategy of the races. But all in all, I'd actually say I'm pretty excited to see, like, with this schedule. There's a few things I would obviously change. I mean, but I do like that they're keeping the regular season finale at the Daytona Oval. You got 2 road courses back to back at Indy and Watkins Glen. You still got the massive gap for the Olympics, so hopefully those actually happen this year, so that we don't have to worry about that in 2022. But yeah, so so I'd say the big thing is I'm really hoping that the Bristol Dirt event doesn't kill the summer races attendance, like the Bristol Night Race, because that is such a good track and already, and it produces such good racing already. We don't need to ruin it. So, but all in all, I'd say it's definitely some hits and some misses. I think great hits is we finally have a dirt racing cup. We have some more road courses like the fans have been asking for. We also have a few tracks that have traditionally produced somewhat unentertaining races, like Kentucky ending up losing a date, or even some of them like Michigan, Dover, and Texas losing one of their 2 dates. I think that's great. I mean, I think that's a pretty good one. The All-Star race, I think that's more of a way to appease Eddie Goshett, or however you pronounce his name. I always mispronounce it, but the track president over at Texas Motor Speedway. So I think that's the only reason the All-Star race is there, and I would expect within a few years that might not be the case. But but another thing I would be interested to find out would be just kind of why, or because I would have probably put at least one of the Atlanta races at night. So yeah, I do like that they're adding more road courses. Another negative, though, would be the glaringly obvious miss of not adding Gateway. Like, there's no new oval other than, I guess, Bristol Dirt would be the only new oval. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one for sure. The fact that there's no new ovals. I was hoping for Iowa or Gateway. I was kind of thinking maybe both or maybe one or the other. But in the end, we didn't end up getting either of the new ovals, so nothing new there. Yeah, so just kind of, unfortunately, it looks like those are kind of some of the lowlights. Would be no new ovals. Iowa Speedway maybe completely going away. Same thing with Chicago and Kentucky. Some great ovals going away from competition completely. Now, I can completely understand them giving a year or 2 hiatus. Problem is if that ends up killing the track, because, I mean, Chicago already lost their 1 date this year, and now they're losing a date for next year. I don't see how that track survives, so... yeah, kind of a downer note to end on, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys are have any thoughts on any of these schedule bits, feel free to let me know them down in the comment section below. But all in all, I'm pretty excited for a lot of these things. I might even try and make it down to the to either the Dirt Bristol race or maybe even over to Auto Club Speedway for the final race on their big oval. But other than that, that's pretty much everything in this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video, live stream, or whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your day. Have a great day, everybody. New video also going to be coming out tomorrow on Silly Season because we'll have DeBenedetto and Larson to talk about. So look forward to that. See you guys. Bye!